Good morning to all. India at 75, tracing the colonial hand in evolving water tapestry. Within a year of its independence, India turned off a tap. The Indus water partition had left India in position of the Firozpur headworks that controlled the Indus water and fed Pakistan's field. Friction over Kashmir and water intervened, and India cut off water supply for Lahore and 5.5% of Pakistani farmland in April 1948. This helped bring Pakistan to the table, and a ceasefire soon followed. Geopolitics is a core thread in India's water tapestry, as are philosophy, technology, and climate. The geopolitics of the 1950s brought America to the subcontinent, and the US shaped India's water in three ways. First, America's Food and Peace program habituated Indian pellets and pulses to cheap wheat. Second, the US helped India map and tap into its groundwater. Lastly, the World Bank brokered the Indus Water Treaty, allowing Pakistan to bypass the proverbial tap. What made India agree? Its monsoon failure in 1957 caused a balance of payment crisis. India needed World Bank assistance, which made it willing to compromise on the IWT. The Second Indo-Pak War started shortly after the tap was bypassed. In the mid 1960s, India's volatile monsoon failed again. As famine loomed large, we paid a steep price for cheap American wheat by agreeing to US dictated policy terms. Desperate to become food independent, the country embarked upon its Green Revolution. Both the minimum support price and the Food Corporation of India were born this drought and designed to make India's farmers grow more food. But why encourage rice and wheat when most Indians ate millets? A grain unequally suited to India's volatile rains, maybe colonial heritage shaped grain choice. After all, rice and wheat are more suited to global trade rather than the humbler millet. Technology helped overcome the volatility of rains, at least for the bigger farmers. Groundwater's failure lay in its convenience. Flip a switch and water appears. Its danger lies in its invisibility because we can't measure subsurface water. We think it endless until, of course, it disappears. In the 1970s, a flat tariff for borewell electricity and cheapened and then removed. Over time, farmers have made India food secure, but the country paid a price. Today, a single year, enough groundwater flows away from India's dry northwest to meet the drinking water needs of India's largest cities for 13 years. When groundwater runs out, where will that we live food security? Borewells reshaped cities too by bringing drinking water off to flood rains and periphery. The borewell overcome the lack of municipal capacity. Within cities too, water changed. The British declared that tanks harbored infection and should be filled. That they provide empty land in the heart of a city was purely a happy coincidence. Colonially trained bureaucrats continued in that belief, and so India city tanks were built over. The giant long tank in Chennai, where the Madras Boat Club once held its winter regatta, has morphed into one of the India's biggest commercial districts. Few missed the tanks, as groundwater was still available and floods were still uncommon. But the tank disappearance bomb had been lit, and it has been ticking away since. Another ticking bomb in India, shifting water Tapestry is deforestation. The British, who saw Indian forests as unsold timber and potential agricultural land, cleared them and encouraged farmers to grow cash crops. But science shows that forest is uh, instinctive to shaping India's rains, stabilizing land on steep slopes where it rains heavily, reducing monsoonal flooding while increasing summer flow in rivers. Sadly, the British ethos still shapes how we value forests today. Over 60% of the value of forest area to be cleared rests in the timber value of trees, while the forest water services are essentially unpriced, making them appear cheaper to clear than they really are. A water is free ethos plus the plentiful supply of groundwater retarded water management across the country. But then, in the late 1980s, a powerful new threat, climate change, entered India's water tapestry. With the ocean hotter and skies warmer, the number of rains days fell. Storms and rainfall intensified. Without tanks to absorb the deluge or forests to moderate the flow, floods and landslide became more potent and more commonplace. Dry regions began running out of water, like Alwar in the 1980s or Chennai in the summer of 2019. To conserve groundwater, Punjab passed a law in 2009 that developed paddy planting. But that delay shrank the gap between paddy harvest and wheat sowing. The fastest way to clear the fields was to burn them, adding to northern India's air pollution spike in winter. In 75 years, India has become wealthier and food secure, but water insecure. The future is frightening with China sea level rise and pollution entering the picture. But are we scared enough to see the unique nature of our water and manage it as it desperately needs? Thank you very much for watching this video, and like, comment, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.